The stars shone bright against the black of space. Captain Tae-jin stood on the bridge of the Hiti, his eyes fixed on the main screen. The Korean research ship floated quietly among the asteroids of the Epsilon Eridani system, its engines humming softly. "Status report," Tae-jin said, his voice calm and clear. Officer Ji-woo tapped at her screen. "All systems normal, Captain. We're mapping the asteroid field as planned." Tae-jin nodded. He was a tall man with short black hair and steady hands. 10 years in space had taught him to stay calm, even when things went wrong. But today, everything was going right. The Haiti was the pride of Earth's fleet, not the biggest ship, but the smartest. Its job was to study new star systems, not to fight wars. "Captain," called Science Officer Jun-ho from his station. "I'm picking up some strange readings from the far side of that large asteroid." Jun-ho pushed his glasses up his nose, his eyes never leaving his screen. He was young for his position, but no one on the ship knew more about space phenomena. "Define strange," Tae-jin said, walking over. "Energy patterns I've never seen before. Not natural. Definitely not human." Jun-ho looked up. "Someone else is out here." Tae-jin felt a small twist in his stomach. First contact was always a possibility on these missions, but it wasn't something you could truly prepare for. "Show me," he ordered. The main screen changed to show a 3D map of the asteroid field. A red dot pulsed behind a rock the size of a small moon. "How big is it?" asked Security Chief Du Young, moving to stand beside the captain. Her hand rested near her weapon, as it always did when there might be danger. She had short hair and sharp eyes that missed nothing. "Can't tell exactly," said Jun-ho. "But it's big, maybe 3 times our size." Tae-jin straightened his blue uniform. "Communications Officer Hana, prepare first contact protocols. Engineer Soo-min, run a full systems check. We need everything working perfectly." Hana nodded, her fingers already moving across her station. She had learned 7 Earth languages before joining the crew, and now she was the best at figuring out new forms of communication. "Ready, Captain. All systems at 100%, reported Soo-min. She was the youngest crew member, but the best engineer Tae-jin had ever worked with. Soo-min understood machines in a way most people never could. "Let's move in slowly," Tae-jin ordered. "Keep the shields up but weapons powered down. We're here to make friends." The Haiti moved forward, its engines barely making a sound. As they passed the large asteroid, everyone on the bridge held their breath. Then they saw it. A ship hung in space before them. It was huge and black, shaped like a perfect oval with no visible windows or doors. Its surface was so dark it seemed to swallow the light around it. Strange blue patterns flowed across its hull like writing made of light. "It's beautiful," whispered Hana. "And dangerous," added Du Young. "Hana, broadcast our greeting message on all frequencies," Tae-jin said. Hana pressed a button. "Broadcasting now, Captain. The message is..." She never finished her sentence. At that moment, every light on the bridge went out. The hum of the engines stopped. The air vents fell silent. Even the backup lights failed to come on. For a moment, there was only darkness and the sound of surprised voices. Then the emergency lights clicked on, bathing everything in dim red light. "What just happened?" Tae-jin demanded. Soo-min's hands flew across her backup terminal. "All systems are down, Captain. Main power, backup power, even the emergency generators. It's like someone just turned everything off." "Is it an attack?" Du Young asked, now holding her weapon. "I don't think so," Soo-min said, still working. "There was no weapon fired, no EMP burst. Something reached into our systems and shut them down from the inside." Tae-jin felt the air getting warmer already. With no life support, they had maybe 6 hours of good air left. "Captain," Jun-ho called from the observation window. "They're moving." The alien ship was indeed moving, toward them. As it came closer, a bright beam of blue light shot out from its side and wrapped around the Haiti. "Some kind of tractor beam," Jun-ho said. "They're pulling us in." Tae-jin felt the slight pull as their ship began to move. He turned to his crew. "Everyone stay. Come. This is what we trained for." "What's the plan, Captain?" asked Du Young, her voice tight. First we survive, Taejin said firmly. Then we find out what they want. And if what they want is to destroy us? Du-young asked. If they wanted us dead, we would be already, Taejin pointed out. They shut us down instead. They want something else. The crew watched as the Haete was pulled closer to the alien vessel. As they neared it, a section of the black hull seemed to melt away, creating a perfect door. They're taking us inside, Junho said, his voice filled with both fear and wonder. Su-min, Taejin said, turning to his engineer. Is there any way to get our systems back online? Su-min bit her lip. Not now, but, Captain, when they shut us down, I recorded the signal they used. It was like nothing I've ever seen. If I can understand it, maybe I can reverse it. Do it, Taejin ordered. Work with Junho, learn everything you can. The Haete was now being pulled through the opening in the alien ship. Inside was a vast, brightly lit docking bay. Their small research vessel looked like a toy beside several other strange ships, all different shapes and sizes. We're not the first, Hana said quietly. No, Taejin agreed. But maybe we can be the first to get back out. The Haete came to rest on the floor of the docking bay. Around them, strange beings moved about. Tall, thin creatures with skin that seemed almost transparent, showing complex patterns of light moving beneath. Prepare for boarding, Taejin told his crew. Hana, you're our voice, Du-young, no weapons unless I give the order. Everyone else, observe everything, learn everything. What about me? Su-min asked, still working at her terminal. Taejin looked at her. Keep studying that shutdown signal. It might be our only way home. Su-min nodded, her eyes determined. I won't let you down, Captain. A loud thud echoed through the ship as something attached to their main airlock. The sound of the outer door being opened came next. Remember, Taejin said as his crew gathered behind him. We are representatives of Earth. We show no fear. But as the inner airlock door began to slide open, Su-min was already making a discovery. The shutdown signal hadn't just turned off their ship. It had left behind a back door into their systems. And any door that let someone in could also let someone out. As the aliens entered their ship, none of them realized that Su-min had already begun to understand their technology. And with understanding would come power. The kind of power that could turn a simple research vessel into something far, far more dangerous. The aliens moved like water. Their tall bodies flowed into the Haete through the airlock, giving off a soft blue light that lit the dark corridor. Captain Taejin stood his ground as the first alien approached him. It was almost 2 meters tall, with skin so clear he could see light moving like rivers inside its body. Welcome to our ship, Taejin said, keeping his voice steady. I am Captain Taejin of the Earth research vessel Haete. The alien didn't speak. Instead, patterns of light flashed across its body in complex sequences. Behind Taejin, communications. Officer Hana watched closely, her special contact lenses recording everything. They're trying to communicate, she whispered. The light patterns are a language. More aliens entered until 5 stood before the human crew. They made no threatening moves, but their presence filled the small space of the corridor. Security Chief Du-young stood ready, her hand near her weapon but not touching it. One alien stepped forward and raised a long, thin arm. It pointed at Hana, then at itself. I think it knows I'm trying to understand them, Hana said. Captain, I need time to process these patterns. Taejin nodded. Do what you can. He turned back to the aliens and spoke clearly. We mean no harm. We are explorers from Earth. The lead alien's lights flashed faster. Then it pointed down the corridor, toward the alien ship. I think they want us to go with them, Science Officer Junho said. Taejin looked at his crew. Without power, the air on the Haete would get bad soon. They had little choice. All right, Hana, Du-young, Junho, you're with me. Su-min, stay with the ship. Keep working on the systems. Su-min nodded, her eyes darting to her hidden terminal where she was already running tests on the alien shutdown code. Be careful, Captain, she said quietly. The 4 crew members followed, the aliens through the airlock and into the alien vessel. The walls inside were made of a smooth, black material that seemed to shift slightly as they walked past. The corridors changed direction without warning, turning and splitting in ways that made no sense. "I think the ship is rearranging itself," Jun-ho said, his eyes wide with wonder. "Stay close," Du-young warned. "We could get lost in here easily." They walked for nearly 10 minutes before entering a large round room. The ceiling arched high above them, covered in the same flowing light patterns they had seen on the aliens' bodies. "This is amazing," Jun-ho whispered, looking around. "Their technology must be centuries beyond ours." Hana had been quiet, her eyes constantly moving as she tracked the light patterns. Suddenly she gasped. "Captain, I'm starting to understand them," she said. "My lenses are finding patterns, translating them into something I can read." "What are they saying?" Taijin asked. Hana's eyes darted back and forth as she read the flowing lights. "They call themselves the Seong. They say they've been watching us since we entered this star system." The lead alien, taller than the others, moved to the center of the room. A large hologram appeared above them, showing the Hate moving through the asteroid field. "They're showing us our approach," Jun-ho said. Hana continued translating. "They say our technology is primitive and dangerous." Taijin frowned. "Tell them we mean no harm. We are scientists, explorers." Hana transmitted light patterns from her special lenses, trying to copy the alien language. The Seong responded with a burst of rapid flashes. "They don't care about our intentions," Hana said, her voice dropping. "They say humans are too unpredictable to be allowed free travel in space. They've shut down our ship as the first step in containing our entire species." Du-young stepped forward. "Containing? You mean they plan to imprison Earth?" More alien light patterns flowed around them. "Not exactly," Hana translated. "They see themselves as protectors of cosmic harmony. They believe young species like ours need to be guided and controlled until we're ready." "And who decides when we're ready?" Taijin asked. "They do," Hana answered after reading the response. "They." Lead Seong made a gesture, and a door opened on the far side of the room. 2 more aliens entered, bringing with them floating trays of strange, glowing objects. "They say these are temporary living quarters for us," Hana said, "and they want to examine our ship more closely to understand our technology." Taijin saw an opportunity. "Tell them our engineer needs to check on critical systems to make sure nothing dangerous happens while the power is off." After Hana transmitted this, the aliens conferred among themselves with rapid light patterns. "They agree," Hana said, "but they want to send guards with her." "That's fine," Taijin said. "Su-min can handle it." Back on the Haite, Su-min was led by 2 Seong guards through the darkened corridors of the ship. They watched as she checked various systems, pretending to secure them. What the aliens didn't know was that her neural implant, a small computer connected directly to her brain, was scanning and recording everything about the alien technology. As she worked on a control panel, pretending to secure it, she spoke softly to herself, knowing the implant would record her words. "Their shutdown code isn't like anything I've seen before. It works on at least 17 dimensions of quantum states. Our computers weren't built for this kind of math." She moved to another panel, the aliens watching her closely. She continued her quiet observations. "But the principles are still there. It's not magic, just very advanced science, and they've made a big mistake." One of the alien guards flashed a pattern of lights. Su-min smiled and nodded, pretending to understand as she moved to the next panel. "Their mistake is thinking we're too primitive to understand their tech. They didn't hide their methods because they didn't think we could see them. But I can." Su-min finished her work and nodded to the guards. They led her back to join the others in the alien quarters. As soon as she entered, she caught Taijin's eye and gave a small nod. Later, when the aliens left them alone in their new quarters, the crew gathered close together. "What did you find?" Taijin asked Su-min. "Everything," Su-min whispered, her eyes bright with excitement. "The shutdown protocols they used contain the keys to their entire system architecture, and I've copied all of it." "Can you restart our ship?" Du-young asked. Su-min shook her head. "Not yet. But I've found something much better. When they shut us down, they connected our ship to their network to prevent us from restarting it. But that connection goes both ways. Meaning what? Jun Ho asked. Sumin smiled. Meaning I don't just want to restart our ship. I want to upgrade it using their own technology. Is that even possible? Hana asked. I think so, Sumin said. But I'll need time and help. Tae-jin looked at each of his crew members. They were facing an alien species with technology far beyond their own. They were prisoners on a massive ship that could probably destroy them, with ease. But now they had a chance, a small opening that might lead to freedom. Tell us what you need, Tae-jin said to Sumin. We'll find a way to get back to our ship. Sumin's eyes gleamed in the strange light of the alien quarters. They shut down our ship thinking we were primitive and harmless. Let's show them how dangerous humans can really be. 3 days passed on the Seong ship. Captain Tae-jin spent most of this time talking with the aliens, trying to convince them that humans were not a threat. Hana worked hard to improve her understanding of the Seong light language. But it was clear the aliens would not change their minds. Any progress with the escape plan? Tae-jin asked quietly when the crew gathered in their quarters. Sumin nodded. I've studied their technology enough to understand how it works, but to upgrade our ship I need to get back to it for several hours without the Seong watching. How do we do that? Asked Do Young. They keep guards near our ship all the time. Jun Ho, who had been quietly thinking, looked up. I noticed something about their patrol patterns. There's a 4-hour window during their rest cycle when they reduce the number of guards. Still, there are always 2 guards at the entrance to our ship, Hana pointed out. Tae-jin thought for a moment. We need a distraction, something to pull all the guards away even for a short time. I might have an idea, said Hana. The Seong are very interested in our culture. They keep asking about Earth, our history, our art. I could offer to show them some of our music and dance as a peace offering. And while they're watching Hana's performance, the rest of us can sneak back. To the ship, Sumin finished. Tae-jin nodded. Let's do it. Tomorrow, during their rest cycle, Hana will perform for them. Do Young, Sumin, and Jun Ho will go to the ship. I'll stay with Hana to keep them distracted. The next day, Hana approached the lead Seong. Using her lenses to project light patterns, she offered to perform Earth music and dance as a sign of friendship. The alien seemed interested and agreed. When the time came, Hana began her performance in the main hall of the alien ship. She sang a beautiful Korean folk song, her voice filling the space. The aliens gathered around, their body lights pulsing, with interest. Tae-jin stood nearby, ready to keep the attention on Hana if needed. Meanwhile, Do Young led Sumin and Jun Ho through the back corridors of the alien ship. Using the knowledge they had gained over the past 3 days, they avoided most of the guards. When they did encounter a Seong, Do Young used a small device that mimicked the light patterns of the aliens, making it seem like they had permission to move around. There's our ship, whispered Jun Ho as they reached the docking bay. 2 guards stood by the Hades entrance. Do Young pulled out the light device again. Stay behind me. She approached the guards, the device flashing patterns that Hana had helped program. The message said they were sent to check the human ship for dangerous materials. The guards looked at each other, then stepped aside. Once, inside the heyday, Sumin rushed to the main engine room. We have 4 hours before they check on us again. Let's get to work. Sumin connected her neural implant to the ship's central computer. Information flowed directly from her brain into the system. Jun Ho helped by reconnecting power cables according to Sumin's instructions, while Do Young kept watch. What exactly are you doing? Jun Ho asked as he watched Sumin work. Her fingers moved incredibly fast across the controls, and her eyes were unfocused as she processed the information in her mind. I'm not just turning our ship back on, Sumin explained. I'm upgrading it with Seong technology. Their systems operate on 17-dimensional quantum algorithms. Our computers can handle it, but just barely. Will it work? Du Young asked from her position by the door. It has to, Sumin said, sweat forming on her forehead as she concentrated. The Xiong didn't just shut us down, they connected us to their network to prevent reactivation. But that connection works both ways. For the next 3 hours, they worked without stopping. Twice, Xiong's security protocols almost detected their activities, but Junho's scientific knowledge helped create quantum decoys that kept their work hidden. We're running out of time, Du Young warned as the 4th hour approached. Almost done, Su Min said, her voice strained. Junho, reconnect the main power coupling. Du Young, be ready to hide. I'm going to start the boot sequence, but we can't let the ship power up fully yet or they'll notice. Junho connected the final cable, and Su Min initiated a partial boot sequence. The Heite hummed softly as its systems came partially online, but not enough to be detected by the Seong. It worked, Junho whispered excitedly. Su Min nodded, exhaustion clear on her face. The ship is now ready. When we give the final command, it will fully activate with all the Seong technology integrated into our systems. What will that do? De Young asked. Everything, Su Min said with a small smile. Our engines will be 10 times more powerful. Our shields will be able to withstand almost any attack, and we'll have access to parts of space-time that we couldn't even see before. A sudden noise from outside made them all freeze. Footsteps approached the ship. Hide, Du Young whispered. They quickly shut down what they were doing and hid in a storage compartment. Moments later, a Seong guard entered the ship, looking around with its glowing body casting eerie shadows. After checking the main areas and finding nothing unusual, the guard left. That was close, Junho breathed once they were sure the guard was gone. We need to get back before they realize we're missing, Do Young said. They carefully made their way back to the main hall where Hana was finishing her performance. The Seong seemed captivated, their body lights pulsing in rhythm with her song. Taejin noticed his crew entering the back of the hall and gave a small nod of acknowledgement. When Hana finished, the aliens flashed patterns that Hana translated as appreciation. The crew was then escorted back to their quarters. Did it work? Taejin asked once they were alone. Su Min collapsed into a chair, clearly exhausted. Yes, Captain. The ship is ready, but I've done more than just fix it. Her tired face broke into a smile. I've transcended it. The Heite is now more advanced than even the Seong might expect. How is that possible? Hana asked. Their technology is centuries ahead of ours. That's their weakness, Su Min explained. They've had the same technology for so long that they don't innovate anymore. They didn't protect their systems against something they couldn't imagine. Human creativity. When can we leave? Du Young asked. Tomorrow, Taejin decided. We'll ask for one more meeting with their leaders, then make our move. That night, while the others slept, Su Min explained the details of the upgrade to Taejin. The ship won't just move, Captain. It will think. It will adapt. The Seong were right to fear human unpredictability. They just didn't realize how quickly we could learn from them. Taejin looked at his young engineer with pride. Tomorrow we show them exactly what humans are capable of. As they slept, the Heite sat quietly in the docking bay of the alien vessel. From the outside, it looked the same. But inside, new systems were waking up, spreading throughout the ship like a living thing. The Seong had shut down a simple research vessel. What would power up tomorrow would be something else entirely. Morning came quickly on the Seong ship. The crew of the Heite woke early, their hearts beating fast with excitement and fear. Today was the day they would either escape or fail completely. Everyone remember the plan? Captain Taejin asked as they gathered in their quarters. They all nodded. The plan was simple but dangerous. Taejin and Ha-na would request a final meeting with the Seong leaders. While they talked, Su Min, Junho, and Du Young would sneak to the ship and prepare it for launch. When Taejin gave the signal, they would all run for the Heite and escape. What if they catch us? Du Young asked, always thinking about security. Then we fight, Taejin said simply. But let's hope it doesn't come to that. Hana approached, a guard, and used her light language skills to request a meeting. The Seong agreed, and soon Taejin and Hana were being led to the main hall. Meanwhile, Su Min, Junho, and Du Young slipped away through a service corridor that Junho had discovered. In the main hall, Taijin stood tall before the Seong leaders. There were 5 of them, each taller than the last, their bodies glowing, with complex patterns. "We understand your concerns about humanity," Taijin began, with Hana translating his words into light patterns. "But we ask you to reconsider. Humans are not a threat to cosmic harmony." The lead Seong flashed a pattern that Hana translated. "Your species is unpredictable, dangerous. You must be contained for the good of all." While this conversation continued, Su Min led the others to the Haiti. The docking bay was less guarded than before, with only 1 Seong watching their ship. Du Young moved quickly, using her light device to distract the guard long enough for them to slip inside. Once on board, Su Min rushed to the control room. "Power-up sequence starting now," she whispered, connecting her neural implant to the main computer. The Haiti began to change. The control panels lit up with new displays, showing information in ways none of them had seen before. The walls seemed to shimmer slightly, as if the metal itself was waking up. "What's happening?" Junho asked, staring at the changing ship. "The Seong technology is fully integrating with our systems," Su Min explained, her eyes unfocused as she processed the information flowing through her neural implant. "The ship is evolving." Back in the main hall, Taijin continued his plea. "Humans may be unpredictable, but that is our strength, not our weakness. We adapt. We learn. We grow." The Seong leader's lights pulsed in what seemed like amusement. Hana translated, "You cannot even restart your own ship. How can you claim to be our equals?" Taijin smiled slightly. "Perhaps we should show you what humans are truly capable of." He touched a small device in his pocket. The signal. In the Hayate, a small light blinked on Su Min's console. "That's the captain's signal. Full power now." Su Min activated the final sequence. The Haiti came fully alive, humming with power that made the air vibrate. The lights brightened and new systems appeared throughout the ship. "They've detected us," Du Young called from her monitoring station. "Seong security is on the move." On the bridge display, they could see Seong guards running toward the docking bay. At the same time, alarms began to sound throughout the alien vessel. "Hana and the captain are on their way," Su Min reported, watching their life signs moving quickly through the corridors. "Start the engines." Junho sat at the pilot's chair, which now seemed to mold itself to his body. As he touched the controls, he gasped. "I can feel the ship in my mind. It's like the controls are connected directly to my thoughts." "That's the neural interface I adapted from the Seong technology," Su Min said with pride. "Just think where you want to go and the ship will respond." The Haiti's engines powered up, glowing with a blue light similar to the Seong's body patterns. The ship lifted slightly off the docking bay floor, hovering in place as it waited for its crew to be complete. Taijin and Hana ran through the corridors, Seong guards close behind them. They reached the docking bay just as a containment field began to form around the Haiti. "They're trying to trap us," Hana shouted. Taijin grabbed her hand and ran faster. "Keep going." Inside the ship, Su Min saw the containment field forming. "They're using the same shutdown sequence as before," she said, smiling. "Exactly as I expected." She typed a quick command, and the Haiti responded in an amazing way. Instead of being contained by the energy field, the ship absorbed it. The blue glow around the hull grew stronger with each second. "We're not just countering their technology," Su Min explained. "We're feeding on it. The more they try to stop us, the stronger we become." The airlock door opened and Taijin and Hana leaped inside. Du Young sealed the door behind them just as the Seong guards reached the ship. "Everyone secure for emergency launch," Taijin ordered, rushing to the bridge. He sat in the command chair, which now cradled his body in a semi-fluid support structure that connected him directly to the ship's systems. The Seong vessel activated all its containment protocols. Energy fields designed to disable any known human technology surrounded the Haiti. "They're hitting us with everything they have," Junho reported from the pilot's seat. "Good," Su Min said calmly. "Keep absorbing their energy. Redirect it to our new drive system." The Hitai began to glow brighter and brighter as it absorbed the Seong energy attacks. The ship's hull vibrated, not with damage but with power. "We can fire back," Do Young said, looking at the weapons console that had transformed from simple defensive tools to something far more powerful. "We could cripple their ship." Tae-jin shook his head. "We're scientists, not warriors." Hana broadcast. "On all frequencies, we are leaving and we mean no harm, but we will not be contained." Hana sent the message, both in human language and in Seong light patterns. The response was immediate. More energy attacks, stronger than before. "They're not letting us go," Du Young warned. "They don't have a choice," Su-min said. "Junho, activate the new drive now." Junho thought the command, and the Haite responded. Instantly, the ship surged forward toward the closed bay doors of the Seong vessel. "We're going to crash," Hana cried out. But as the Haiti reached the solid doors, something amazing happened. The human ship shifted, entering a slightly different phase of reality that allowed it to pass through solid matter like a ghost. They emerged from the Seong ship into open space. The stars spread out before them. "We did it!" Junho shouted, his face lit with joy. "Not yet," Tae-jin said. "They'll pursue us. Su-min, how fast can we go?" Su-min's fingers danced across her console. "With the new drive? Faster than they can follow. We've achieved something they thought impossible, Captain. We've transcended their technological limits by combining it with human intuition." "Show me," Tae-jin ordered. Su-min activated the final upgrade. The Haite leaped forward, the stars around them stretching into lines of light as the ship accelerated to speeds no human vessel had ever achieved before. Behind them, the Seong ship grew smaller and smaller until it was just a dot in the distance and then nothing at all. On the bridge, the crew looked at each other in amazement. Their small research vessel had become something new, something powerful beyond their wildest dreams. "Set course for Earth," Tae-jin said quietly. "It's time to go home." As the Haiti sped through space, the ship continued to evolve, integrating the Seong technology more deeply with each passing moment. What had started as a simple upgrade had become something more, a transformation that would change humanity's place in the universe forever. 6 months passed since the Haide escaped from the Seong ship. 6 months of traveling through space at speeds no human had ever experienced before. The crew watched as stars rushed past them like streaks of light. During this time, the ship continued to change. Its hull now rippled with the same geometric patterns they had first seen on the Seong vessel, but mixed with human designs. The inside of the ship grew more comfortable, adapting to the needs of the crew without them even asking. "We'll reach Earth tomorrow," Tae-jin announced as the crew gathered on the bridge for their daily meeting. "What will we tell them?" asked Du Young. "About the ship, about the Seong, about everything we've learned?" It was a good question. The Haiti was no longer just a ship. It had become something new, something that might change humanity forever. "We tell them the truth," Tae-jin said simply, "that we met an advanced alien race that tried to contain us, and that instead of being defeated, we adapted their technology and made it our own." Su-min looked up from her console, where she was still studying the ship's evolving systems. "The ship keeps improving itself. Every day it finds new ways to combine Seong technology with human ideas." "Is it dangerous?" Hana asked, voicing the concern they all felt. "I don't think so," Su-min replied. "The core of the ship is still human. It's just more now." As Earth came into view, a beautiful blue ball against the blackness of space, the crew fell silent. They had left as explorers in a simple research vessel. They were returning with technology that could change the course of human history. "United, Earth Space Authority is hailing us," Hana reported as they entered Earth's solar system. "They want to know why we're 6 months late and how we're moving so fast. Tell them we've made a first contact and brought back new technology," Tae-jin ordered. "Request a secure docking bay and a meeting with the UESA Council." The UESA responded quickly. They directed the Haite to a remote docking station in Earth orbit, a quarantine zone used for ships that might carry alien life or technology, as well. The Haiti approached the station. Su-min noticed something on her screens. "Captain, they've activated defense systems. They're afraid of us." Can't blame them, Junho said, looking at their ship's new appearance. We don't look very human anymore. Tae-jin nodded. Slow our approach. Show them we're no threat. The Hayate slowed down, its hull pulsing with soft blue light as it neared the station. UESA security ship surrounded them, weapons ready. This is Captain Tae-jin of the research vessel Hite. Tae-jin broadcast to the station. We come in peace with knowledge that will help all of humanity. The UESA allowed them to dock but ordered the crew to remain on board until a security team could inspect the ship. When the team arrived, dressed in full containment suits, they stared in wonder at the transformed vessel. What happened to your ship? The lead officer asked, her voice muffled by her suit. It evolved, Tae-jin answered simply. Over the next week, the crew was separated and questioned extensively. Scientists examined the Hate, though much of its new technology was beyond their understanding. The UESA Council debated what to do with the ship and the information the crew had brought back. Finally, after 7 days, the crew was brought before the full council. Captain Tae-jin, began the UESA chairperson, an older woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. Your reports about this alien race, the Seong, are deeply concerning. You believe they may come looking for you? Yes, Tae-jin replied. They won't. Be happy that we took their technology and improved upon it. Improved? A council member scoffed. How could humans improve technology that's centuries beyond our own? Sumin stepped forward. The Seong are advanced, but they're also stagnant. They haven't truly innovated in thousands of years. They've eliminated unpredictability from their civilization, and with it, the capacity for real growth. Hana, who had spent the journey home studying the complete Seong language and history from the ship's new databases, added, they've been containing other species for millennia, preserving what they call cosmic harmony, but they've never encountered humans before. And what makes humans different? Asked the chairperson. Tae-jin looked her in the eye. When faced with a superior force, we don't just surrender or fight. We learn, adapt, and transform. They shut down our ship, expecting submission. Instead, we took their own technology and enhanced it with something they don't possess, human ingenuity and our drive to transcend limitations. The council chambers fell silent as they considered his words. Show us, the chairperson finally said. The next day, the Haiti demonstrated some of its new abilities for the council. It created a shield that no Earth weapon could penetrate. It moved from Earth to Mars in minutes, not the days it would normally take. It processed data faster than all of Earth's computers combined. After the demonstrations, the council made their decision. The Haite would become the model for a new generation of human ships. Sumin would lead a team to understand and replicate the technology, and Earth would prepare for the possibility that the Seong might one day come looking for them. 1 month later, Captain Tae-jin stood on a platform overlooking the shipyards where new vessels were being built, using principles learned from the Haiti. Sumin stood beside him, now the head of Earth's new advanced technology division. Do you think we did the right thing? Tae-jin asked quietly. Bringing this technology back to Earth? The Seong believed we weren't ready for it. Sumin watched as workers moved around the new ships, their hulls already beginning to show the distinctive patterns of the hybrid human Seong technology. The Seong were wrong about us, she said. They thought unpredictability was dangerous. But it's our greatest strength. Du Young joined them, now the commander of Earth's first defense fleet. The first 5 ships will be ready next month. We'll be prepared if the Seong come. Junho and Hana arrived next. Junho had become the lead scientist studying the new physics the Hayate had revealed, while Hana was training others to understand the Seong language and culture. Together, the 5 of them looked out at the busy shipyard, where humanity was forging its new future. They'll be coming, Tae-jin said, his eyes on the stars above. Not just the Seong, but others too. The galaxy is full of life, and now we can reach it all. When they come, Hana said, they won't find a primitive species anymore. No, agreed Sumin. They'll find equals, perhaps even teachers. The Haitai. floated in orbit above them, its hull pulsing with energy. The ship that had been shut down by alien technology had not only restarted, it had transcended its original design and, in doing so, helped humanity take its next step into the stars. Tae-jin smiled at his crew, the people who had faced the impossible and transformed it into opportunity. The Seong thought they were containing us. Instead, they gave us the key to the universe. Above them, the new ships rose one by one into the sky, their hulls glowing with the promise of a future without limit's end.